Cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Kassidy, thanks for joining me today. Appreciate it. We're going to be talking a little bit about home warranties. I know you're a home warranty expert, so just giving some insight, for anybody who's watching, maybe looking
Yeah.
to buy a home, and they might have some questions, and you've got some answers.
Yes.
So yeah, thanks for joining me. Before we get started, just tell me a little bit about yourself. Do you have kids? Do you have dogs? What do you like to do? How
Yeah.
long have you been here on the Central Coast?
Oh my gosh, my life is just chaos right now. So, I am married. Yes, it'll be 7 years in June that we've been married together. 12 years. I've got three beautiful children. I've got two boys and a girl. So I've got 5, 3, and 16 months. So my life right now is just like chaos all the time. But I actually started 3 years ago and I joined as a partner with my mom, Kim Rugg. So she's been selling home warranties 23 years. And as of yesterday, April 1st, I don't know if you got the email, but it went out to our whole territory. She was recently promoted to VP of Sales of our Southern California team. So now it is me, myself, and I. But it's been amazing. It's been such a blessing. I grew up with my mom in the role. She did this my entire life. So it was kind of like something natural to me. For years, she kept saying, come on, you got to work with me. And I'm like, no, I'm doing my own thing. I don't need to work with you. So I went off, did my own thing, got my college degree in hospitality management and event planning. So I did a lot of that with a company at a resort. So I was like running all of their events. And then I had kids and I'm like, I cannot be working holidays and nights and weekends. It's just not, I mean, granted, I still work on the weekends now because I'm here for you guys all the time. But it's just the flexibility of it has been amazing. Like I can still be the classroom mom for my kids, but then also the working mom on the side. So yeah, it's been great. And here I am. So now full territory, Paso Robles to Santa Barbara.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a big territory.
it is. Yes.
So the first question for somebody who's buying their home for the first time,
Yep.
they don't even know what is I mean, maybe they've heard what a home warranty, but what is a home warranty? How does it work? Let's get started with that.
Yeah. So I would say too, and kind of to add on to that question, we get a lot of people that are like, well, what's the difference between homeowners insurance and a home warranty? And I think it's so important. We've talked about this before. I told you the 2 E's are the most important: expectation and education. Because if you know how the home warranty works, it's going to be the best asset for you. But if you don't understand it, it's the most frustrating process. So I'm here to like be that guide for anybody. But so I like to explain it. The home warranty is going to cover for appliances and systems located within the 4 walls of the home due to normal wear and tear. And we emphasize normal wear and tear because let's say your child goes and shoves a toy down the toilet and the toilet is now broken. That's not normal wear and tear. We don't usually want a toy in the toilet. It's just going to be normal usage. So day-to-day functions, you're using the sink a lot, you're using the dishwasher, it breaks down, and that's what we're here for. Whereas homeowners insurance is going to be more for things that come up unexpectedly. So like natural disasters, fire, flood, theft, vandalism, things like that. So people get a little bit confused where the two, because sometimes they can coincide. If your dishwasher breaks and it floods your floors and now you've got secondary damages to your floors, we can go hand in hand with the home warranty and the homeowner's insurance.
So for clarification,
Yeah.
basically any appliance or system in the 4 walls of the house. So just to list off a few,
Yeah.
we've got dishwasher, we've got oven, we've got laundry, we
Mhm.
have toilets,
Yep.
sink. Is HVAC going to be included in that as
Yeah,
well?
so the way I like to say it is we always say cover your peach, right? Cover your behind. You want to make sure that you're covered for. So you got plumbing, electrical,
No,
appliances, you got your cooling and your HVAC systems, and then heating as well. So, and you also have what you can add to that. You've got plumbing, electrical, and then your water heaters as well are in there.
I just got a good idea for a
Yeah.
YouTube, title: "Cover Your Peach
Cover
with Your
your
Home
peach.
Warranty."
Literally,
I have a big emoji of a
you think
peach.
about the peach emoji. It's like, what are you covering? What's going on here?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah.
That is a good starting question. So the next is, there's maybe standard home warranty, maybe
Yeah.
more extended home warranty. I'm just kind of thinking what I know for me as a broker, we have different types of warranties
Mhm.
there that we put into the purchase contract, typically to have the sellers pay for it for our buyers, but it's a negotiation.
Yep.
But what kind of home warranties are there? Are they just one standard home warranty? What do you recommend of that? Just talk to me about that. What kind of
Yeah.
home warranties are out there?
Great question. So it's always nice just to have something on the property, right? You just want to make sure for liability purposes for the homeowner and for yourself that something's on there. So we do get people that have just the standard basic, which is going to cover for what we just talked about. It's going to be your standard appliances in the kitchen. It's going to be your furnace, your HVAC or your cooling if you have it, your plumbing, your electrical, and then your water heater. So that's going to be all standard appliances and the basic plan that we have. And then you also have all these buyer's options you can add. So we do have coverages for outside, such as like pool spa. There's ADU coverages if you have that, or a guest house, fountain coverages, septic, well, a bunch of different things. I like to tell everybody that in that standard plan, that's not going to include specific appliances like washer, dryer, and fridge. So those are going to be add-ons that you would have, and it can kind of just go up from there. But I always try to maximize the coverage. So whatever's in the contract, I'm looking out for the buyer as best as I can. Like I want to make sure they have the best coverage. So I always like to recommend, it's called our enhanced plan, and that includes the washer, dryer, fridge, and some other cool options. We've got like our HVAC tune-up option. So we can send a technician out there and he can maintenance the property. So during the months of February to April, so throughout April 30th, we can actually send somebody out there and they can maintenance the cooling system. So your HVAC system for the summer months to make sure that that air conditioning is working properly. And then in the months of September to the end of November, we can go out and service for their furnace to make sure during the winter months that it's working properly. So there's extra add-ons in there that just make sure that everything's covered for, because a lot of people don't realize, oh, the refrigerator and the washer dryer, those are add-ons.
Mm.
Yeah.
So thank you for explaining that. So what are we talking as far as the claim process? So let's say something does break down. You're a homeowner, you have the coverage, a refrigerator is having some issues. How does that process look? Do they call their rep? Do they call you? What's that process looking like for a claim to see, how that coverage could take care of something that's not working?
Yeah. So I love giving out my phone number because again, I'm all about educating and kind of setting those expectations. So I recommend always reaching out to me because I can help with things and also direct them in the right direction. So with claims, they can either go online and file a quick claim. So they would just go to homewarranty.com, type in their address. It's very easy. It'll pull up their name and contract, and they can just do a quick claim online. And from there, our technician has about 24 to 48 hours to reach out to schedule. But usually it's sooner than that. I mean, most of the time they do the quick claim and they get a call like a few hours later, depending on the time of day. But they can also reach out to me to help to assist, or they can call into our service department and they can place that claim. And from there, it really depends. The claim process, like from the start to finish, it really depends on what's going on. Does it need to be repaired? Does it need to be replaced? I mean, you could be looking at a quick fix within 24 hours to maybe like a week or two. So, and that's kind of the benefit of knowing the local rep and being able to get a hold of them, because, there's things that I can do to move the process along to make sure that everybody's happy and it gets taken care of in a timely manner.
So give me some examples about, like, somebody, a homeowner calls you, they have something wrong and it's taken care of. Just give me an example, a good story, because I like a good story.
Yeah.
As far as something that has caused a lot of stress, I don't know, maybe somebody's dishwasher broke down the day before they were, had their kid's birthday. I don't know. Just give me an example of a story where you guys kind of stepped in and saved the day.
Okay, so I'll never forget this client because I was only a month into the job, and it was like kind of my first claim where I was like, oh my gosh, how are we going to fix this for her? How are we going to make it better? She had just lost her husband like the year before. And then a few months prior, she had lost her son.
Mm.
And so I got on the phone with her. Her water heater was out. She was taking cold showers, and she's like telling me this story. And I think too, I'm very personable, and I want to be able to help everybody. And that's just how I am. And I want everybody to know that I'm here for them. And so, we talked a lot about her family, and she told me this story, and I was like, we cannot have you taking cold showers. Like, this is just not okay. And so I made a couple calls, and I sent a couple emails, and I progressed it to our VP of sales. And I was like, okay, this is just not okay. She's going through a lot. And we ended up getting it done and replaced and everything like within 48 hours or less. And it just moved the process along. But I'll never forget it because she opened up to me, and she like was crying to me on the phone. And I'm like, here I am with 3 kids. And I'm just like, I can't even imagine like losing my husband and then losing my son. And now I'm taking cold showers, and I'm just like, how can we make this better for you? And she ended up submitting on Yelp, like a really great review. And it was the first month I had ever worked there. We have a newsletter that goes out to the company. It was in there with her review. And I ended up winning Rookie of the Year that year. And she was one of the reasons why I won, because it was like within a month, I had this amazing review of her and the experience that she had. So I've got a lot of stories like of how I could flip it around, but she's the one that stuck with me because it was the first one.
That's a great story. And it's a testament to when you go above and beyond for
Yeah.
your clients, your customers, it comes back. First, if you're just thinking, how can I solve these problems? How can I make people's lives easier and better and solve these issues for them? It comes around. So that's awesome. And that's a great example of winning the rookie. Was it the Rookie of the Year or Rookie
Rookie
of
of
the
the
Month?
Year. I was shocked, honestly. And I wasn't
That's
even
awesome.
able to be there in person because I had just had my daughter, and I came back from maternity leave like the week before. So it was in Vegas. So I wasn't able to fly out. So my mom FaceTimed me in, and I was on stage on FaceTime. So it worked out. But yeah, she was the reason why. I mean, they read the review, and it was a whole thing. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, thanks for taking the time to sit down with me, explain home warranties, explain the process. Before we go, just explain to me, because there are other home warranty companies out there. Just walk me through real quick what differentiates you and your company versus another company. Just walk me through that and what people might expect to be the difference there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can go kind of more by the book of like why Fidelity. So we're a Fortune 500 company, which a lot of people, you look at that and you're like, oh, okay. But it just means we have the financial backing to help support the clients with these claims and these service issues that arise. So that's always a big one. It's like we're financially backed to help you and to protect you. But also I live within my territory. So I'm the local rep. I always say shop local, buy local. My competitors, I have 2 of them. I've got First American and Old Republic, and all 3 of us live within our territory. So I always say, if you're going to put anybody in there, put the 3 that actually live here and support the community. But I think what sets me apart is the fact that I am here and I am always communicative and responsive. You have my phone number, and I'm not an 800 number that you have to, do a runaround with. You can always call me, and I'm always going to answer, and I'm always going to get it done for you. So I always tell people it's so important to know who's representing that company, because it's one thing to have an 800 number that you call, and then it's another thing to have somebody that to reach out to that you can rely on.
Promptness in response, I think, is one of the most important customer service core values that a company can have. And I think with all the technology we have, there's some great value with that. But it's getting back to the basics of having somebody you can pick up, call, ask some questions about, and they're going to pick up and answer, I think is awesome. So I think that's a great differentiating factor. Thanks for taking the time. I really appreciate it. Any final words? We'll put down your information there. What's the best way to reach out to you if somebody's wanting to kind of move on over, to ask you some questions about
Yeah.
what you guys offer? Email, phone, text, what's best?
Honestly, anything. You can call, text, email. I mean, if you see me out and about at the grocery store and you're like, that's my rep, you can talk to me. I mean, technology is amazing nowadays. yeah, if you've got no time and you just need to send a text, I got you. But if you need to call me, I'm here as well. So any of the above. And I can give
Awesome.
that information to link too. So
Great. Well, thanks again for taking the time. Really appreciate it. I know you're busy. So any final words?
final words would be get a home warranty because we've got you covered.
Awesome. Well, that wraps it up for us.
Yeah.